Hi, Jason.
Hi, Carl. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. You?
Not bad at all. Just add some money to my long distance plan. How's Carl Palmer doing these days? Getting ready for lots of work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've just come back from Italy. Actually, I've just been playing 5 concerts with my band, the Carl Palmer ELP Legacy. We played in Bulgaria before that, so I'm back now, and I'm sort of just getting ready. I've got a lecture coming up on the 24th of this month at Southampton University. Basically, it's a lecture on music business, on the right ways to direct your career. I'm also giving a demonstration to the drum department at this university. So, yeah, quite busy. Also, just setting up the studio now. Aisha's making a new album. And we'll probably do that right through till about Christmas, on and off, trying new ideas out, making some demos. And I've got 3 gigs in Poland, actually, the 12th, 13th and 14th of November with my group. And then that will be me sort of finished for the year as far as live performances are concerned.
Wow. So it must be a very good feeling, to keep busy, every single day it seems.
Tell you the truth, it's always very, very nice. Yeah, the problem is the amount of preparation that it takes to put it all together. I mean, I have management services in America that I use for dealing with that stuff. But here in Europe, I take care of most of the stuff. Well, I take care of all of the stuff myself. I've got like an office in my home, and I've got a PA and things, and I get most of the stuff done. But it's got very, very strange, the business. I think it's because so many of us touring on all levels, whether we're kind of in the A category, the B category, or C category, that the markets are congested. So you end up sort of booking way in advance and starting earlier and doing things much sooner than what you'd ever thought you would do, as far as promotion, as far as just preparation in general, because there's a lot of people out there doing the same thing, and you want to make sure that you sell tickets and you don't disturb too many promoters, because you might need to work for them again.
Right.
Where I am next year is, I start on the 25th of January in a place here in England called Skegness, which is actually a holiday camp, but they've started doing indoor festivals. So I'm playing at this indoor festival, and then I'll be off to Israel in February, just for 1 concert, and then there's an English tour for about 10 days in the rest of February, and then we start in America around about the 10th of March and go through to the 2 cruises. I've got the Monsters of Rock cruise on the 29th. 5 days late of March, 29th of March. 5 days later, we've got the Moody Blues tour, and then I'll go to South America. South America's not booked, but that's what we're looking at, trying to plan out. So yeah, it's quite busy, and Aisha's got quite a few things on the cards. We've got Japan in June next year, and as I say, we're still making this album or preparing it. We've got some dates in America we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at dates in Europe as well. So, yeah, it's always pretty busy. It's just getting harder to get the right quality of work. But, I still enjoy playing. So as long as I'm playing, I'm kind of happy. It's just harder to get, as I said, the quality right and get it, the promotion right, because people don't want to spend money. And, it's harder. It's much more difficult these days.
And with the cruises, when you go on the seas, the oceans, how is that playing, as a drummer?
To be honest, it's the same as all musicians, not just as a drummer. The cruising is great. The company is fantastic. The ship they're using this year is twice, next year rather, is twice as big as the one they've already used. It's an Italian company. The Monsters of Rock tour is practically sold out already. So I'm playing 1 concert on that cruise for 5 days. The rest of the time I'm kind of doing some interviews and selling my art. I've got an art website. It's www.carlpalmerart.com. You could put that in the interview, and maybe people might go along and visit that. So we'll be selling a bit of art. I'll be doing some Q&As, and it'll be great. Even, as I say, it's a bigger ship. And basically, I stay on board, and that just becomes the Moody Blues Isle of Wight tour, they call it, the Isle of Wight cruise. So it's very, very cool. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, it'd be nice. On the Moody's cruise, I'm playing twice. So that'll be good. They run very, very well, to tell you the truth, Jason. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't mind doing them back to back. Apart from that, I'll have my sea legs by the time I get off. I'll be well and truly up to scratch on all of that.
Awesome. And who's going to be playing with you, at the Moody Blues cruise?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure if you go onto their site, you'll see who's actually on that. I do know that Roger Daltrey signed up about 2 weeks ago. So Roger will be on there. Roger Daltrey will be on there with his band, and obviously I'll be seeing him because he's an old friend, and I'll try and do something with him. Maybe it's not been decided yet. I've not even spoken to him about it. But there's quite a few other people on there. It should be all right, that cruise. That'd be quite a nice one. So, both of them would be good actually. The Moody's isn't quite sold out as I understand it, but the Monsters of Rock is.
Now let's say keeping fresh in the ideas of new music and stuff like that. How do you do it? This day of age, to keep fresh in music.
Well, to keep fresh, I mean, it's very difficult to keep fresh, because you've got to keep reinventing yourself. Reinventing yourself is really a hard task, really. I mean, basically, I've got what we call now Carl Palmer's ELP legacy. So I'm drawing on the past, and I'm kind of looking into the future and just trying to present this music to younger people as well as I possibly can. And for that reason, we don't try to copy ELP. We don't use vocals, we don't use keyboards, we use only guitars. So there's more of a metal edge, a metal prog rock edge to the whole thing. So it's a little more exciting, it's a little more current sounding. And, basically I use the vehicle of classical adaptations. I play things, whether it be by Bartok or Prokofiev or Stravinsky or Mussorgsky. So we've got this kind of style which is kind of unique for a powerhouse trio. So that's how I try to keep myself as fresh as I possibly can, by being one of a kind, really, because there's no other power metal sort of trios that play what we play. And I think, when you're sort of, when you're kind of an individual or you are unique, you sort of specialize in something, there's always going to be a market there. It might not be very big, but there always will be interest when you're sort of out on your own and you're not part of the flock. So for me, that's what keeps me fresh, just knowing the fact that we've got all of that kind of sorted out. And I'm looking at playing some film music. I'd like to do the Ride of the Valkyries from the Apocalypse Now. So that's going to be something I'm going to use, and I'm going to use footage. I have quite a cinematographic type of show where I project a lot of stuff on the back of the stage, that obviously corresponds to the music we're playing. So it's quite a cinematic approach we've got overall. And I think all of that keeps you fresh, and that, is obviously is a new way. We're not completely new way of looking at things, but it definitely enhances the instrumental side of the group. So I'm very pleased with that.
And Carl, the internet in general for you, how does that work for you? Is it a good thing or not as good thing?
Yeah, listen, the internet is absolutely fabulous. I have a procedure that I go through once a month. I get lots of drum magazines come through the door, different magazines, Modern Drummer, Rhythm Magazine, Drum Magazine, whatever they are. There's about 3 or 4 of them. And, and I read what I need to read. And then there's articles on certain people, and I just rip the pages out of any interest, whatever it might be. It might be an advert. And then I'll spend 2 hours, maybe every month, 2 to 3 hours, once a month, and I go through all the stuff that I've ripped out, and I check it on YouTube. I find out exactly who's doing what's happening, what manufacturers are up to. When journalists like yourself start saying there's this great new young drummer from Minnesota who's unbelievable, I go on and have a look, and then I can see how great this guy is, and if he is great, that's good, and I'll learn something. So for me, it's a great learning tool. It's a great information in general. I mean, I don't think we could live without the internet, that's for sure.
The encyclopedia of today.
You got it.
What are you doing this weekend? I'm sure you're keeping busy as well.
Well, we've set up in the studio. We're recording with Aisha. We're doing some demos and stuff. Aisha going to play next year in America as well. Probably in June we'll be in Japan, and then the rest of June we'll be in America for a couple of weeks, short tour. Then we'll come back to the end of August, September with Aisha. I'm in America really from March, April to the beginning of May with my band, the Carl Palmer ELP Legacy. So I'll do that. And we're kind of just working out the back end of the year, trying to see what we can do, as Asia, and what we can do as with my band. So it's a preparation, Jason. There's a lot of preparation, a lot of advanced work. This weekend I'm taking it off and I'm going to see the new Woody Allen film is what I'm doing. But apart from that, I'm having a great time.
Valkyrie from Asia, I should say.
Yeah, well, we've actually changed the title. I'm not going to tell you what the title is, but we might not call it Valkyrie. We might call it something else. We've got quite a few demos in place at the moment, about 3 or 4, which are kind of acceptable. We need to now turn them into proper pieces of music and then look at all of that. We're kind of going slow. We'll probably work from we've already been in there about 3 weeks a month. So we'll go right through to about the end of, right up to about Christmas and take a break on that then, and then start after that again on it. So that'll be ready for some time next year, but no release date and no real firm title at the moment. We might change it. It might not end up being called Valkyrie. It might be called something else.
Well, the work on the title is interesting, at least for Asia, and I think it's good. So, Carl, really good pleasure talking to you. And
yeah, thank you very much for the interview, Jason.
And wish you so much success and luck this year and in 2014.
Okay, take care, matey.
Bye-bye.
Right.